It is a championship for the Bedford Bulldogs, 3 in a row.
Johnson serves it in. Great header there, and it's a goal.
Brian O'Brien shot, Bedford goal.
He's at about the 18, sends it up and over and in. Big shot, Grace Crowder. Will kick, snaps back, kick is up. It looks good. It is good.
It's good.
It is good.
It's good.
Again, we welcome everybody in. It's BCTV's broadcast as the Bedford Bulldogs will host the Keene Blackbirds tonight. Broadcasting out on WBNH as well, 105.1 local radio. We also have the YouTube stream going. All different ways that you can catch tonight's action.
Keene captains coming out on the field: Trey Jewett, Aiden Tarr. Joining the Bedford captains, Jake Ben, along with Kevin Sheridan out there.
We got Danny Black as well, Spencer Henrishon. Beautiful evening.
It's football weather, finally.
Sure is. Low 60s. We have beautiful sunset off in the distance there. Some cool looking clouds. Football weather, as you said. I think it's low 60s, maybe even dipping down into the mid to high 50s throughout the evening.
Yeah, we said goodbye to summer yesterday at the Kozlowski household. That's what happens when we cover the pool up. Swim season's over.
Couple keys to the game, Harry. Any thoughts on that? We heard Coach Matthews talking about how the Blackbirds want to play offense in a phone booth. That'll be fun to watch. I'm sure they're going to be really tight splits, and as he talked about that wishbone offense, some misdirection, some power right up the either side, either left tackle, right tackle, maybe inside and off the center guard hole, and we'll see what happens tonight on their offensive side. I'm guessing that the Bedford defense is going to have a 5-man defensive line to try to help match up, see what they can do.
Well, yeah, I think the Keene game plan is going to be ball control. And speaking of Keene, they won the toss. They deferred. Bedford will get the ball first. Bulldogs, of course, have played solid defense all year, only giving up 3 points. So I think they're going to give Keene's front all they can handle. And on the offense, I think Coach Matthews is going to want to see some better execution. As well as they've played, as many points as they've run up, there's been a few miscues here and there. I think Coach wants to see those go away.
Yeah, I agree with that. Particularly in that Bishop Girton game to start the season, there were a few fumbles, an interception, a couple of miscues on special teams, with the punt team having a muffed punt as well as a bounce into one of the punt returning team blockers. So yeah, a couple of problems here and there. They did clean it up. We didn't see nearly the same in last week's first half.
There were a few flubs, I think, in the first quarter for sure.
A little bit here and there. They got into the red zone and kind of petered out, so 2 turnovers on downs, but not the same ball security issues that they faced in that first home opener. They did brush it up a little bit, and hopefully we see the same tonight from the Bulldogs.
So Tagliaferro out there to get the punt along with, or the kickoff, I should say. Brody Helton joining him, the sophomore who's been a scoring machine of late.
6 touchdowns in 6 quarters, not a bad track record, I have to say. Back to kick for the Blackbirds is number 14, Braden French. He's a freshman, and we'll see how his leg looks. 12 minutes are on the board. Helmets are in the air on the near sideline. The kick is up, and it bounces around the 20-yard line. It's going to go out of bounds, and we'll see some dirty laundry on the first play of the game.
Smart move there by Tagliaferro, just let it bounce out of bounds. Ball went out right around the 18-yard line, but they're going to get it at the 35 with the penalty, with the delay game out of bounds kick.
So the Bulldogs offense will take the first crack at it. Danny Black. Well, actually, it looks like they're going to make him kick it again.
Interesting.
He only got it down to the 20, so you back him up another 5 yards. If you can field that kick and get a good return, you might be out closer to midfield. So we'll see how this plays out for Coach Matthews. So now Braden French will kick from his own 35 instead of the 40.
Mr. French has got a pretty lively leg. I was watching him in warm-ups, and he was trying some 50-yard field goals. So we'll see if he has a chance to use that leg in a three-point try.
There you go. That's ambitious. French on the way again. It looks like it's going to bounce. Oh, out of bounds again. Yeah, it did. Wow.
It did finally. Wow. That thing did the tightrope down the out of bounds line, and it could have been a disaster.
My goodness. That sure could have. You know, again, Tagliaferro was over there in fielding position, waiting, almost like a third baseman, watching a bunt trickle down that the line towards third base. Yeah, hoping for it to go foul. He was hoping that it would go out of bounds, and fortunately it did, right around the 5-yard line. So now the Blackbirds are backed up to their 30-yard line. The return team scoots forward another 5 yards.
And the clock has yet to tick a single second. Still 12 minutes.
A little bit of an anticlimactic start here. So French is back again. He'll take a third swipe at it. And now it's an onside kick. Covered by Upman in Blackbird territory. That's Gradinskis jumping on that ball, number 21 for the Bulldogs. And they will have fantastic field position as they start on the Keene 48-yard line.
Blackbirds rolling the dice, thinking they're going to catch Bedford napping a bit. Tried that onside kick, good try, but Bedford was expecting it, or at least ready to jump on it, and they got excellent field position in Keene territory at the 48-yard line.
That's good discipline by that front line, too. Frequently, those guys are looking to run, turn their tail, run back, get some blocks, and in this case, Gradinskis was ready for it and pounced on that ball. Danny Black, 2 backs in the backfield. He's got slot right, tight end is left. In the pistol. Tagliaferro in motion. They give it off the right-hand side. Is Jack Rizzo getting ahead for about 9 yards, almost 10. Well, very close to that first down yardage. They'll mark him down at the 39, and we do have a penalty flag on the field. It seemed like it was a late flag there.
Bedford throwing a lot of motion there, confusing the Keene front, opening up some room. But it's all going to come back.
There's a holding call, but it was well down the field, so this will be interesting. As Rizzo had nearly first down yardage, they're going to mark it off from the spot of the foul, and it's basically going to be 1st and 10 again. Kind of strange play there. Penalties accepted, they march him back, and it is 1st and 10 once again.
So does Rizzo get credit for the yardage gained?
No penalty. Black takes the snap, hands it off to Brody Helton, picks his way through the middle, gets ahead for 1, maybe 2 yards. They'll mark him down at the 46. 2nd and 8.
Keene not fooled there. They were ready, and Michael Hansen, number 88, leading the tacklers there, keeping it to a short gain of just 2. Mr. Hansen swapping jersey numbers tonight, was 51, now he's 88.
Thank you for that clarification, because I was a little baffled there for a second.
Second down and 8 here at the 46.
Slot left, tight right, 2 backs in the backfield with Danny Black, who's in the pistol. He takes the snap. Fakes it to Rizzo, takes it up the middle himself, and he'll get ahead for another 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and about 6.
Aiden Tarr ready for that play. He was not fooled. He had Black lined up and took him down again. Just a short 2-yard gain here. It's going to be 3rd and 6.
Little option play there. You see Rizzo coming off there, and Black has the choice to give it to Rizzo or take it himself. It could be a designed run for Black, but he's reading usually the end right there to try to figure out what that end is doing. Is the end coming up the field, or is he crashing down on that back coming through the hole?
I'll expect the Bulldogs to go to the air here.
3rd and 6. Black slot left, 2 backs in the backfield. They do not go to the air, and Helton is stopped for no gain. 4th and 6.
And another great tackle there. This time number 70, Evan Ray, stepping up. Bedford looks like they're going to go for it here.
Interesting. The punt team was ready to trot onto the field, but Coach Matthews wants to take an aggressive stance here early in the game. He trusts his defense, as he should. Stalwart defense on the other side of the ball for the Bulldogs. So when you have that kind of confidence, you can have a little bit more of an aggressive style when you get into these types of situations. 4th and 6. Early in the first quarter here, 0-0 is your score. And the Bulldogs come out slot left, tight right, 2 backs in the backfield, either side of Black, who's in the pistol. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Rizzo. He'll deliver down the middle of the field. It's incomplete. Intended for Tagliaferro, running a post pattern from that left side. And it really wasn't in the area for Tagliaferro. Didn't really have a chance on that. So they'll turn it over on downs.
Black's pass just led Dom a little too far. Couldn't stretch out to get it. And Keene stops Bedford on downs. They gave up very good field position because off the onside kick recovery. But now here they are. No worse for wear. They're on their own 44-yard line with the ball. And, you know, this is a team that shut out Merrimack and played a pretty solid game against Salem. So this is the defense you need to respect.
Bedford gained only 4 yards on that series, turned it over on downs, and now the Blackbirds will hand it off for a jet sweep, which is gobbled up very quickly. Jake Sheff getting into the backfield and tackling the ball carrier Aiden Tarr. Great play by Sheff there.
He's cooking up a tackle for loss.
Now you can see there on the replay, nobody blocks Sheff. He's playing that right D tackle, D end position. And, you know, just kind of walks right into the backfield, walks right into the ball carrier. So, you know, if nobody's going to tag or block that D end, he's going to have clear shots on the running backs. 5-man front here that we talked about in the open. Pass in the middle is picked off. Gradinskis picks it off, gets out to the left-hand side, breaks a couple tackles, gets down to the 30-yard line, and the Bulldogs have the first turnover of the game.
Great turnover there by the Bulldogs. Gradinskis keeping an eye on the quarterback. Might have been staring down his receiver, and I think it was easy for him to just step in front of that pass.
Good job by Gradinskis, like you said, dropping back into his pass coverage, watching the eyes of the quarterback, steps in and makes that interception. And now the Bulldogs have even better field position.
And Dylan Soden with a nice block there, paving the way for Gradinskis to pick up a few more yards.
So short field as the Bulldogs have it on the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Trips out here to the right side. Helton in the backfield to the right of Black in the pistol. He takes the snap, looks to his right, dumps it over the middle. It's dropped. Dylan Soden, the intended receiver, couldn't squeeze it. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Keene putting on some pressure on Black. They're getting into that backfield pretty quickly. He had to get rid of the ball right there, and Soden, I guess he just didn't track the ball into his hands. Kind of a dangerous play too when the ball bounces off your hands up in the air. It's a potential interception for waiting to happen.
Sure is. Dylan Soden was lined up on the tight end position on the left-hand side there, paused just a touch, and then was running that drag route. And honestly, Trey Jewett was lining him up too for the Blackbirds, so might have been a blessing that he dropped that. Black in the pistol again. Hands it off the right-hand side. Brody Helton tiptoes a couple of tacklers, gets free, now makes a cut back out to the outside, and he's gone. 7 quarters, 7 touchdowns. Brody Helton from 30 yards out, and it is 6-0 Bulldogs.
Helton with that vision, able to get around the tacklers in the Keene front. You know, this Keene front is very stout, but once you get past that front line, it's open season. He had the end zone in his sights, and he made a great cut there on this last blocker that could have got to him. Left him grasping air. He took it in from 30 yards out.
Tough young man to tackle, and he showed you why right there. Dylan Soden is now on to attempt the point after. Danny Black will hold. Snap is back. Hold is down. It looks a little left, and it is no good.
I think it was blocked. Did I hear the ball hit the strike a hand?
I don't know. It just looked like it fluttered oddly off of the foot for Soden. So
maybe we can get a quick replay on that. I do think it was blocked. Well, after the touchdown replay here.
Beautiful
the handoff.
1, 2,
this tackle
3,
in the
4.
background.
5 opportunities to capture Helton, but no chance as he gets into the right side of the end zone. Here's the replay you're looking for.
The snap, and nope, that was a shank. So that went wide left. Wide left.
Yeah, not like Scott Norwood. This was well wide. Sorry. I know.
I know. You always
that was
that
mean.
to me.
Sorry, that was mean.
I'm over it. It only took me
30 years later.
Yeah.
And so Dylan Soden will kick it off for the Bulldogs as they leap out to a 6-0 lead. 8:15 to go here in the first quarter. They'll go back on the defensive end. They've benefited from fantastic field position on the interception for Gudinskis, and Helton pays it off. Here the Blackbirds put together a decent little return. Sawyer Leppel gets out beyond the 25. They'll mark him down at the 27 maybe.
Yeah, the rugby scrum picking up a couple of extra yards there for Keene. Congratulations to the Bedford volleyball team on their win at Timberlane on Wednesday. The girls are now lead the state with a 4-0 record.
Not surprising. It seems like every night that we do a football game, you're saying congratulations again to the volleyball team. Put together quite a squad. 5-man front for the Bulldog defense. Turn and handoff to the right tackle, off the right tackle, and ahead for maybe 5 yards. That was Wyatt Avery on the carry, number 24.
Good carry there by Avery, following his blockers and picking up about 6 yards right there.
Call it 2nd and 4. Ball rests on the 33-yard line as Keene comes out in their own territory. Wishbone behind quarterback Kaysen Abbott. Ball falls on the ground, but flags fly beforehand. I believe we have a false start. And it is a false start on the Blackbirds, so they'll march back 5 of those 6 yards that they just gained. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Kind of a fortunate penalty there. Like I said, the ball's on the ground. Keene couldn't afford another turnover here in the first quarter.
Yeah, they just seemed out of sync there too. You know, some of their offensive linemen were firing out of their stances. The center was a little delayed. The interchange was off. The ball ends up on the turf, but you know, those flags flying everywhere. Tight splits for the Blackbird offense. Abbott under center, turns, toss. They try to get off left tackle, but in on the tackle is Jake Ben, and it's maybe only a yard gain as they get out to the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd and we'll call it 7.
Ben wrapping up the ankles there from behind, catching up to the play and making sure it was only a short yard gain. Under 7 minutes to go here in the first. Bulldogs up 6-0.
Wishbone behind Abbott again.
And I think somebody stepped on his foot.
Wow, tough play there. Goes back into the backfield and stumbles on the ground. I think you're right.
He
see if we can
definitely got tripped up. Might have been a big lineman stepping on his foot while he tried to drop back.
Well, so the ball's marked on the 25-yard line. It'll be 4th and 12. The Blackbirds will punt. They get away a decent punt. It bounces at the Bedford 45. Tagliaferro chooses to stay away, and they get a fantastic roll. Goes all the way down to the 22-yard line, where the Bulldog offense will take over.
The Bedford Bulldog Athletic Booster Club would like to thank their generous platinum sponsors, including Spectra Marketing, Bedford Village Inn, BEI Network, London Orthodontics, Restore Hyper Wellness, Wicked Good Butcha, and Looney Insurance. And a special thanks to the gold sponsors as well, Realty One, Ethan Allen, Granite State Cabinetry, and Liberty Hill Construction. On behalf of the 461 student athletes this season, thank you for your support. And if you'd like to get involved, visit www.bbabc.net.
Back to the line of scrimmage. The Bulldogs are out. 2 receivers to the right, 1 left. Helton motions out of the backfield to the right-hand side. Black delivers it into the flat on the left-hand side. They have a lot of room and blockers out front. Moving down that left sideline, a little stutter step, getting more room. And now cutting back into the middle. Bulldogs with a huge gain here. getting tackled at the 32-yard line. Nicely done by the Bulldogs with a little misdirection, getting out into the flat. And that's Landon Elsmore with a huge gain.
Well, Keene sent the blitz. They sent the kitchen sink on Bedford, and it blew up in their face when they got the quick out to Elsmore, and Elsmore had blockers.
Great call and a great defense to run it against. Little wide receiver screen, and he had two big boys out in front of him blocking downfield.
Perfect call on a blitz.
Jake Sheff and Brennan Krause getting way downfield. Handoff to Rizzo. He's off the right tackle, and he might be gone too. And he is. A 32-yard touchdown run for Jack Rizzo after a huge great gain by Elsmore. Rizzo caps it off, a two-play drive. They just went 78 yards in 2 plays. And the Bulldogs are up 12-0.
Superb blocking on that play. Really sprung Rizzo into the open, and then it was just a foot race to the end zone.
Soden back out to try the PAT. Black holding again. Snap is back. The hold is down. The kick looks good. It is good. And they push it out to 13-0 in just a matter of maybe only a minute and a half. There was a quick 3 and out for the Blackbirds. A phenomenal punt all the way down to the 22-yard line in Bulldog territory, but the Bulldogs offense made quick work of that 78 yards. A phenomenal wide receiver screen by Landon Elsmore, followed by that 32-yard touchdown run by Jack Rizzo, and we're quickly out to a 13-0 score.
Well, great adjustment by the Bulldogs. You know, they came off that opening drive where they got stuffed on downs. Keene came away feeling pretty good, like they could probably control this Bedford offense, and then they come right back with 2 big strikes, a turnover, and then the run by Helton, his 7th touchdown, by the way, in 7 quarters, and then Rizzo with a 32-yarder, not to be outdone. It's 13-0, Bedford up.
And certainly the interception by Gradinskis helped them come back from that turnover on downs in that first series. So everything's turning up roses here for the Bulldogs in the first quarter. Soden kicks it off down to the 8-yard line where it is fielded by the Blackbirds. Getting out to the right side, looks like Sawyer Leppel. They'll be marked down again around the 27-yard line, the exact spot where they started their last drive.
Another congratulations to Offridge, to the girls soccer team, on their way to a 2-0 victory over Londonderry on Wednesday night. With 2 wins last week, they're now 5-0 to start the season. So volleyball and girls soccer both undefeated so far.
We got an avid viewer and listener for BCTV. Mr. Todd Fitzgerald wrote in that the varsity golf shot a school record 180 the other day. Average of 36 per player. Phenomenal job by the golf team, too. They've started quite well this season.
Yeah, they took out Concord in one of those matches. I think Concord was undefeated as well. Just one loss on the season for golf. Terrific job. That was a 5-yard run there for Keene, setting up 2nd and 5.
Clock will tick here a little bit as Abbott trots back to the Blackbird huddle. They break the huddle, approach the line, will be in the wishbone formation with tight splits again. Up front, Abbott under center. We got a false start. The left tight end, Jacob Worcester, wasn't on the same page with the rest of the offense, so they'll march back 5 yards, the same 5 yards they gained on first down. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Same thing that happened on their last drive. They erased a good opening run with a penalty, and now they're behind the sticks.
And now they'll take a timeout. Coach wants to talk about it, as Coach Batnode is saying, hey guys, we're shooting ourselves in the foot here. Let's get on schedule. Let's make it easier for ourselves. Let's not have any more negative yardage plays.
Bedford Friends of Football is a parent-led organization that functions to support the needs of our team throughout the season. We couldn't do what we do.
Hey, you need a hand with this?
No, I should say couldn't. We couldn't do what we do without our generous sponsors. Somebody needs to proofread this. Our generous sponsors, which include 10 and 10 Attorneys at Law, Coca-Cola Northeast, Pepsi, Stonyfield Organic, Fine Homes Group International, TJ McCartney Inc., McDonald's on Brown Avenue, just there, Realty One Group, Treescapes by Murphy, and Apex Wealth Management. Thank you to our wonderful sponsors. Okay, I got to change that. Couldn't. Yeah. We couldn't.
Yeah, none of the other McDonald's, just the one on Brown Avenue. No, I'm just kidding.
The best one.
Great sponsorship. We appreciate all of you. The Blackbirds back to the line of scrimmage. Wishbone behind Abbott again. 2nd and 10. He'll take the snap. Reverse pivot. Hands off to the second one through. Looked like that was Wyatt Avery on the carry.
3-yard gain there for Keene. You know, if they didn't commit that 5-yard penalty, they'd be in 3rd and short right now. Now they got 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6. Let's see what kind of defensive substitutions the Bulldogs make. They've been going with a 5-man front on the line, given this tight formation for the Blackbirds, and they'll do the same here.
Keene's only attempted 1 pass, and that was intercepted.
Under center again, Abbott takes it off, a handoff off the left-hand side, push forward to about the 35-yard line. He's about 2 yards short of first down territory.
Well, we'll see what kind of
it'll be 4th and 2.
What kind of a gambler Coach Patnote is here. He kicked the onside kick on the opening kickoff, 3rd try, of course. Now he's got 4th and 3, 4th and a long 2. And they are going to go for it. They're down 2 touchdowns. They got to make something happen here.
Abbott trots back to the huddle. They break. Bedford swaps out a D lineman for a linebacker. Still in their wishbone formation, 2 tights.
Bedford showing blitz.
Yeah, they stacked the box here. They're all up at the line of scrimmage. They got 7 on the line of scrimmage, 2 back.
Moving.
It looked like they might have been trying to draw the Bulldogs offside. Didn't work. They, in fact, moved themselves. And now we'll see the special teams trot onto the field. Yeah, the right guard there, you could see, fell forward in his stance. So they march it back. It'll be 4th and 9.
64, Owen Hope, the guilty party.
Oh, come on. We didn't have to name him by name. You're killing me.
You don't have to shame him? I'm sorry.
Come on, man. Let that happen in college and in pros. Another punt here. Tagliaferro watches it dribble out at his own 40-yard line, where the Bulldogs will take over for their 4th possession of the game.
BCTV's live channels and on-demand content are now easier to access than ever before. The Bedford Community Television app is available for free as a download on Apple iOS and Android Play Store. Download the Bedford Community Television app from the App Store today and enjoy all the Bedford content at your fingertips. Like this game, you get the live stream as well as the on-demand video.
13-0 is your score here. 2:44 to go in the first quarter. Bulldogs turned it over on downs their first possession and then got 30 and 32-yard touchdown runs, one by Helton and one by Rizzo. And they look to add to that. Black in the backfield. Hands it off again. This is Alec Corvo, dances through the middle, but I think it's coming back. There's a flag back at the Bedford 44-yard line. I think we're going to have a holding call.
Good run by Corvo. 16-yard pickup here is going to get erased by that holding call. Trying to see where that happened.
Okay, I was looking at the wrong player there. We saw the flag come down a little bit late. It was 3 or 4 yards down the field. Looked like it might be the center or the left tackle. Yeah, I think they're going to get Henrishon on that hold. So they'll march it back. It'll be 1st and 14, 15, maybe 16. Where do they mark it? It'll be at the 34-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 16.
Second penalty call, I think, on Bedford. 2 holding calls.
Yeah, the fix is in. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Black back in the pistol. 2 backs in the backfield now. Slot left, tight right. He takes the snap, hands it off. Corvo off the left-hand side. He's got some wheels. Gets captured at the 50-yard line, but not before he has a first down. Nice job by Sawyer. Leppel coming in and a touchdown-saving tackle if you can, but it was 18 yards down the field.
Yeah, Corvo showing some acceleration right there, running through the tacklers and getting the first down up to they're going to mark him all the way to the 48-yard line in Keene territory.
Great job. Nice little burst there by Corvo, too. He got into the line, off the left tackle, showed that burst that you're talking about. Got to the next level and made Leppel drag him down 20 yards down the field. So Black again, 2 backs in the backfield, slot right, tight left. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks downfield, has the in pattern, connects. This is Elsmore again, stays on his feet at the 30-yard line, down to the 29. Nice job by Landon Elsmore, the sophomore wide receiver, showing some skills here early in this game.
He did a good job holding on to the ball. He caught it between 2 Keene receivers, and both gave him a pretty good shot just as he made that reception. You know, that's been a problem earlier. We saw in the BG game receivers dropping the ball once they were hit, and this time he held on to it.
Elsmore sure-handed, and then with the ball security too, as he had a bunch of those defensive backs swarming him. Black back in the pistol.
Back in black.
Takes it, hands it off the right side. Helton dodges a couple of tacklers, gets ahead for 4, maybe 5 yards. He's down at the 24-yard line.
Swarm of Blackbirds bringing him down. You know, number 65 there, Jacob Wallace, a little bit late there. I suppose they could have called him for a late hit, but no flag.
Helton runs through 1, 2, 3 tackles again. And there he goes, 5-yard gain. We'll probably get one more snap before the first quarter expires here. Again, the Bulldogs ahead 13-0.
Clock ticking under 30 seconds in the first.
Slot left, tight right. Black has 2 backs in the backfield. They switch positions. It's Corvo and Helton. Black takes the snap, fakes it, looks down the field in the middle, and he's picked off. Leppel with the interception all the way back at the 10-yard line. He has some room and gets it back out to about the 34. They'll mark him at the 35-yard line.
Probably an ill-advised throw, but I think Black wanted to get rid of the ball before he got sacked. Keene sent the blitzer there, number 4.
Yeah, nobody picked up Trey Jewett. He was the right defensive end. And you're absolutely right. Danny Black was feeling pressure off of that end position, threw it up for grabs, and Leppel was the one who grabbed it.
So another big stop here for the Blackbirds.
Looked like that was Dylan Soden downfield, the intended receiver. And the Blackbirds back on the offense. Here's Wyatt Avery taking it off tackle right side, ahead for about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Alex Grudinskis, the lead tackler on that, giving up very little, 2 yards.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter, where the Bulldogs have a couple of turnovers, one on downs. Not too worried about that one, but then this interception most recently, and 30 and a 32-yard touchdown run to put the score 13-0. So up and down, plenty of time left to put more points on the board.
And as you mentioned before, I had in my notes here about the golf team. They swept their meet at Cocheco Golf Club in Dover, taking out Dover and Concord. The team amassed a total score of 180, which is their 2nd lowest ever for a Bedford team. So terrific work there by the golf team.
Good to see them performing well on the links.
And turns out we now have the Coaches Show on demand. So if you missed it earlier in the broadcast, you can go to our website, BCTV or BedfordTV.com, right? And also on the YouTube page. And you can find the Coaches pregame right there. Find out what the coach is thinking before the game.
Seeing some highlights from the first quarter here, where that was the unfortunate PAT miss. But now we're going to see Jack Rizzo, his 32-yard touchdown run off the right tackle, got through the line of scrimmage to the next level and made some people miss on his dash to the end zone. And now you'll see Soden's PAT. This one was much better than the first.
A couple scores to announce. Wyndham, their number 7 team in the Union Leader poll, 21-0 over Alvern in the first. Central trailing number 2 Londonderry 7-0. Portsmouth over Dover 7-0.
Well, toss sweep here from the Blackbirds. They get ahead for 5, maybe 6 yards, enough for a first down. They'll move the sticks, and I believe that's their first down of the evening.
It absolutely is.
Ball will be marked at the 46. Teams swapped ends of the field, so the Blackbirds are now going left to right. They are in their white away uniforms with orange on their shoulders and down the sides, black numbers, black helmets.
Rocking a Cincinnati Bengals look there.
Yeah, without the stripes, I guess.
You kind of squint a little bit.
Abbott back under center, Wishbone behind him. He'll take the snap, pivot out, second man through to the right side, off tackle, out for an 8-yard gain. That's Wyatt Avery. Nice little run for Avery. Gets ahead for 8, maybe 9 yards.
Good vision. He shows it on this cut here. He's about to get tackled, and he was able to step away. Actually, it was a pretty clever second handoff here. Yeah, he just fooled number 23, Dylan Soden. Got around him there, got the first down.
Good blocking at the point of attack there. Trey Jewett, the captain senior, gets a good block off that right tackle, springing Avery for a few extra yards. Abbott back under center, motion from Leppel. A misdirect back to the left-hand side of the defense, and they stack it up. Henrishon there leading the tacklers.
Yeah, they went to the well twice, and Bedford didn't get fooled the second time, running that same secondary handoff play.
Yeah, and Henrishon just cutting through the offensive line there, was ready for it. Met the ball carrier 2 yards deep, so it'll be 3rd and 3, we'll call it.
Dover coming back, they got a touchdown, no extra points, 7-6 now late in the first in Portsmouth.
13-0 is your score here. The Bulldogs lead the Blackbirds early in the second quarter. Abbott back under center, Wishbone behind him, 2 tights. He takes the snap, reverse pivot, second man through, and they wrap him up at the line of scrimmage. He gets ahead for 2 yards. It'll be 4th and a long one.
And they'll probably go for it here again. Nothing to lose, trailing by 2 touchdowns.
I would think so. Good penetration up front. That was Jake Ben getting through, causing some havoc in the backfield. He didn't get the tackle, but caused some concern for the Blackbirds. And it'll be 4th and 1. Abbott trots back to the huddle. 5-man front for the Bulldogs. Putting a nose tackle in there, 2 D tackles, 2 D ends. They're stacking 4 linebackers in behind. The inside linebackers show blitz. They want to stack it up in the middle. They run it off tackle, and they have some room. Plenty of room for the first down and more. And coming up for the tackle is Peter Suazo before Avery could get too far down the field, but he has enough for the first down. It's at the Bedford 36-yard line.
Avery's been their best offensive weapon tonight. We don't have stats on him, but he must be around about 25, 30 yards, would you say?
I would think so. You know, some negative plays here for the Blackbirds, but Avery has been quite positive for them.
And they're driving. They're at the 36-yard line of the Bedford Bulldogs.
2 tights, 2 wings, 1 back in the backfield.
Little motion.
They had some movement on the right wing. Didn't get called, and they get stacked up maybe 2 or 3 yards down the field.
Now it's interesting that no flag was thrown because he had movement on both lines.
Well, the defense can stutter a little bit there. He was in the neutral zone, but we also had the wing on the right side moving early, so probably would have been a neutral zone infraction if they had caught it. Nothing is called, so it's 2nd and 7. Just about 8 minutes to go here in the first half. The Bulldogs lead 13-0. Touchdowns by Brody Helton, a 30-yard run, and Jack Rizzo, 32-yard run, both in the first quarter. But now the Blackbirds are putting together a drive here. Abbott takes the snap, fakes the second man through. It's the third man around, but the Bulldogs were waiting for him. I believe that was Avery again.
At the half, we're going to have the Bedford High marching band performing. Make sure you stay for that.
The marching band and the color guard. I can imagine the cheerleaders will have a bit of a performance too. They have several of the youth cheerleaders in town with them tonight. A bunch of the youth football players are out there beating each other up way beyond the end zone down to our left. They had a chance to get out on the field for pregame. Abbott here rolls out to his left, pitches it down the field, incomplete. In coverage was Bennett Matthews there on that far sideline, intended for Jacob Worcester. It is incomplete, so 4th down and 5.
Just the second passing attempt there by the Blackbirds. It was pretty high. It would have been an amazing catch.
It really kind of fluttered it out there, and I have to say Bennett Matthews showed some great closing speed there too. Got a hand in late. Even if that ball was in the right spot, Matthews was there in coverage.
So they go back to Wyatt Avery here, another off-tackle play.
That's 5 yards. I mean, that's tough to count on 5 yards on a run play, and we're probably not going to see that. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 split to the right. Avery is in the backfield with Abbott, but we're going to get a timeout before we get too far. I believe the Bulldogs are going to take this one, and they are, yes. They saw trips out to that left-hand side, and they said, hold on, wait a minute. We don't see this formation a lot. Let's take a timeout and talk it over.
Coming up on BC TV on Monday, the 18th, 7:30 p.m., it's Bedford Field Hockey versus Merrimack. And then next week, Friday, we're going to be at that newly laid down turf field at Goffstown, the new press box, too. That's a 7 p.m. kickoff. Will be on the air at 6:45. That's Friday, September 22nd. Be sure to tune into BC TV's Educational Channel 8 and HD 1072 on cable, or the BC TV app, or our YouTube page for all the action.
I hear that new Goffstown press box is luxurious. They're like big couches. It's catered up there. Am I right?
You're close.
Close? Okay, all right. Well, we'll give you the feedback after the game, I guess.
We'll give our review.
Trips back out to that left-hand side for the Blackbirds. Abbott in the pistol. Might be looking to get an offside here. Nope. They get the snap. The ball is batted at the line of scrimmage. It looked like it might have been Sheridan or Soden getting up and batting the ball. It is incomplete, and it is a turnover on downs.
We'll see it on the replay here.
Somebody off that right-hand side. Soden was coming in untouched. Looks like he might have got it. Yeah, I couldn't quite tell.
I'm going to say it was Sheridan who did it.
Okay. Great job, Kevin. Get those hands up on the rush. Can't get there in time.
Just because Soden jumped up in the air, I mean, it might have hit Soden in the rib cage. It could have hit him under his arm. Tough call.
Or maybe off the right mitten for Sheridan. So the Bulldogs take over on their own 31-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield for Black. He'll hand it off. Left side tackle. Rizzo out in the field again. Big gain down the left-hand side into Blackbird territory, and he's pulled out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
Sawyer Leppel with the tackle there. Boy, Jack Rizzo is showing some speed and some vision as well.
It's great to see him getting some carries there, too. I mean, this Bulldogs offense has a loaded backfield. Of course, Helton, you got Corvo, you got Rizzo. All kinds of contributors back there, and we're not even talking about Ledger Russell, who has not made an appearance in a game this year for the Bulldogs on the IR. We expect him back soon, too. 13-0 is your score. The Bulldogs back into Blackbird territory. 1st and 10. Black fakes the handoff. Looks downfield, needs to scramble. Gets out to his left-hand side. pulls it down now, and he's running. He's got some room, too. Down inside the 25. He gets popped out of bounds, but he has enough for a first down.
Eli Kopcha was the one who knocked him out. A little bit of a high hit there.
Nice little scramble. Reverses direction. Makes a little move there. And then gets popped out of bounds. Like you said, Eli Kopcha.
Put the shoulder into him.
Kopcha pops ya.
And he did, but Black, and Black was actually pretty impressive in the pocket too. He had Blackbirds all over the place, and he was able to just peel out. He almost, if he wasn't careful, he could have went right into one of the rushers.
Really nice footwork there. I'm not sure if you saw it, but as a military roll, they call a quarterback getting out of the way, spinning away from where their feet direct them, and was able to avoid some pressure. We're going to get another timeout here, this time by the Blackbirds. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs on the Keene 23-yard line.
That's going to be their second timeout that they're going to call. It's easy to listen to Bedford 105.1 online. Just go to WBNH.bedfordnh.org for a stream link on our webpage. You can also stream on apps like TuneIn, MyTuner, Simple Radio, and Radio Garden. Or if you've got an Alexa device, just say, Alexa, play Bedford 105.1.
Dale, thanks for that replay. Can we get that one more time, the earlier part of that play? I want to see the footwork by Danny Black. Here we go. You see the pocket collapse around him. He'll take the snap. He'll look downfield. The pocket starts to collapse. Again, the czar of the telestrator. We could have fun with this. Takes it here, fakes the handoff, pocket collapse. Watch this move right there. Getting out of trouble. Beautiful move by Danny Black. Avoids the defender and gets positive yardage. Phenomenal athletic play by Danny Black there.
Yeah, Hansen was just shedding his block, but Black was able to peel out before Hansen could get to him.
So Black back in the backfield. This time we have 3 tight end set. Unusual personnel here for the Bulldogs. Black takes the snap. They hand it off to Bennett Matthews on the end around. He's got a lot of room. He's going to be in for the 3rd Bedford Bulldog touchdown. 23-yard touchdown run by Bennett Matthews. Puts the Bulldogs ahead 19-0 with the PAT to come. Speed right there. That was what it was all about. As Matthews, with a little misdirection for the Bulldogs, they got a little bit of an end around. He was lined up off the left-hand tight end. Came back across the formation, confused the Blackbird defense, and scampers 23 yards to pay dirt.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for 2 here.
Similar formation here, actually. As Bennett is off that left wing. Matthews right there. Black takes the ball, hands it off to Helton. Left tackle, and he's in for 2 points. So the 2-point conversion is good. Helton gets in from 3 yards out, and it's 21-0.
Nice even number.
You see the replay here as it's going. I'm sorry to cut you off, Harry. I know you had to read there, but you'll see Matthews off the left wing here. He comes back across the formation. Great blocking up front. Avoids 1 and 2 tackles, and then it's the rest of his work to get into the end zone. Nice downfield work, too, by Jack Rizzo, right at the goal line, keeping that last potential tackler off of Matthews.
Looking for where you can find upcoming Bedford Bulldog games? BCTV is a proud member of the New Hampshire Coalition for Community Media, which offers New Hampshire high school sports broadcast schedule listing games from all across the state. So you can watch the Bulldogs. You can also watch a lot of other teams as well if you really want to watch what's going on elsewhere in D1. Just go to nhccm.tv/calendar/sports and you'll find that schedule there.
Dylan Soden ready to kick things off here. 5:56 remains in the first half. Ball is deep down to the 10-yard line where the Blackbirds will field it and get it back upfield. Nice downfield, open field tackle by the Bulldogs. That right there was Thomas Braga. Colin Tinnen on the return. And the Blackbirds will take over on their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, like taking down prey. He had him singled up and just closed in on him. and the runner couldn't get away.
Great special teams play. You're going to see Braga. Look, he's kind of waiting for it to come. Sheds a tackler, gets up the field, and keeps his responsibility, making sure Tinnin couldn't get it to the outside. Wishbone again behind Abbott.
They're on the 20.
1st and 10, reverse pivot, second man through. Abbott has, excuse me, that is Leppel. No, that's Avery, excuse me, Avery. Has some room.
Great
14-yard gain for Avery, and they move the sticks. Another first down.
Avery with another big play here for the Blackbirds. Showing some speed as well. He's a powerful runner, able to shed tackles. Picked up 15 right there, 14.
14-yard run for the senior captain. 1st and 10 for the Blackbirds. Wishbone again, 2 tights. Ball is on the ground. It's still getting batted around. Looks like it came right back up to Abbott. And he is tackled for no gain. He's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. This looked like it was just a missed interchange between center and quarterback, and Abbott is lucky that came right back to him. Well, they might give him 1 yard, so it'll be 2nd and 9. Bulldogs again back in that 5-man front. They normally play a 4-man front, but here against the 2 tight set, Wishbone, mostly there from the Blackbird offense, they're stacking the line of scrimmage. 4 linebackers in behind, so they have 9 defensive players right inside the box here. Abbott back to Avery. Avery gets out to the 40. It'll be 3rd and 4. Second man through again, ran off the right side in between the guard and the tackle.
Strictly an estimate, but I think Avery probably has over 50 yards of offense tonight.
Likely 80% of the yardage gained by the Blackbird offense. Our master statistician, Andrew Fenn, doesn't quite have the numbers ready for us right now, but I think your estimate's accurate. Andrew Fenn, our Senior Vice President and Executive Producer tonight here from the BC TV crew. We have Caitlin Fitzgerald on the camera. We appreciate that. Dale Bird back in the studio giving us replays. Abbott reverse pivots. Avery off the left side. He's short. Wow, he's close to that first down, but I think he's short.
That far line judge looked like he gave him the first down and then kind of scooched in a little bit, so it might be 4th and a very short one.
Yeah, the near side guy was a bit shorter, so they mark it shy of the 49-yard line. They're coming out, and I would only imagine that they're going to go for it on 4th and short here.
I wonder if they'll try a quarterback sneak here. No
Could
fuss,
be.
no muss, just head down and push.
Yeah, silent count. Just follow your center right up the middle. That's tougher when there is a nose tackle there. And that's exactly what they do. And they stack them up. I don't know that they got forward progress.
Again, line judge looks like they're going to give it to him.
Yeah, I think they are. Geez, I'm not sure they had it on that initial push, but the linesmen give it to them. They'll move the sticks. First down. Excuse me, that's a 44-yard line, not 49. And just inside their own 45, they get the first down. So the Blackbirds move the sticks again. Abbott getting his workouts as he runs nearly all the way to the sideline to get the play calls. 2 tight set, 2 wings. Only one in the backfield behind Abbott is Aiden Ianu. He'll roll out to his left, in the left flat, caught by Worcester, ahead for about 5 yards. And he's tackled there. They're going to give him 6 yards on forward progress, 2nd and 4.
And that is Abbott's first completion. He's got one of each, a completion, an incompletion, and an interception on 3 tries.
Well, there you go. You hear offensive coordinators talking about that. When you put the ball in the air, especially in high school, you have 3 outcomes. 2 of them are bad, right?
We got them all.
Well, you have a pass complete, a pass incomplete, and an interception. So Abbott spreads it out now. Man in motion is Aiden Tarr. They give it back to Avery. He gets ahead for first down yardage into Bedford territory. And he'll be marked at the 44, maybe just inside, but that's enough for another first down.
Yeah, so they made it look like they were going to throw the ball again, but really they were just opening things up for Avery.
Spread things out, trying to get different personnel on the field for the Bulldogs. 1:37 to go here in the first half. So that is a consideration for this Blackbirds offense. They haven't put the ball in the air too much, but they might need to here with the clock waning in the first half. Motion here is Leppel. Abbott takes the snap out into the right flat, picked off. That's Landon Elsmore showing some hands again. Gets wrapped up. Doesn't get much of a return, but the interception is enough. And Elsmore with a couple big receptions. And now here coming up with the interception. It went off of Dylan Soden's hand and fell right into Elsmore's, and he's able to make the pick.
So 2 interceptions thrown by Abbott today. And Bedford takes over with 1:13 left in the half. Keene is going to get the ball to start the second half, so I think Bedford's going to try to add some more points here. Trying to make this turnover count.
Black in the pistol, slot left, tight is right, and a flanker out to the right-hand side. Tagliaferro in motion, left to right. He'll take the jet sweep off the right-hand side, gets ahead for 2, maybe 3 yards. I like to see Jake Ben finishing his block all the way back to the other side of the field. We get that replay. That'll be nice to watch. Number 56.
Peyton Gowell, number 10, with the tackle after a 2-yard gain. Clock is still running, under a minute to go. Bedford lines up.
Black takes the snap, rolls to his left, down the field. It's too high. Intended receiver was Tagliaferro.
And good coverage there by Josiah Sales, number 8. Stayed stride for stride on Bedford, number 8.
It'll be 3rd and 8. 46 seconds left on the clock. 45.9 to be exact. Bulldogs on their own 43.5-yard line. What are you looking for here? You want a little slant off of one side, maybe one of those misdirection plays? I would guess it's going to be passing play, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to pass. They're going to go over the middle.
Elsmore's had a nice night. Interception, a beautiful reception earlier in the first half. 2 backs in the backfield for Black. Changes things up. Changes it back. They'll take the snap. Fakes the handoff, looks over the middle, no, out to the left-hand side, and the receivers were confused. Tagliaferro wasn't even looking back for the ball. Coach Matthews is a little frustrated at the missed call there, and the Bulldogs are going to punt.
Yeah, Tagliaferro had a double team on him too, so he probably wasn't the best target.
I think Black was expecting him to cut back out, right? He was going to do maybe a post-corner type route, and it didn't even look like he felt he was in the route or even an option as a receiver. So the ball falls harmlessly to the ground. 40.8 seconds remain in the first half, and Kevin Sheridan is back to punt for the Bulldogs.
First punt of the night for Bedford.
Snap is back, fine. Sheridan gets it away nicely.
High punt.
Fair catch called for and nicely caught by Colin Tinnen. He is at his own 22-yard line.
27.
Excuse me, 27. I appreciate that.
Stay tuned for the half. We'll have the Bedford High Marching Band and the Color Guard and the cheer team and the junior cheer team. Everybody will be on the field. And you'll be able to hear it on the radio as well. We'll stay with the broadcast.
So the Blackbirds will come back under center here. See if they can pop something long before halftime. 32.7 seconds left. Wishbone behind Abbott. Second man through, Avery again. He's wrapped up just outside of the 30-yard line to head for 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5. The clock is going to run and likely going to run out as the Bulldogs lead 21-0 as we approach halftime.
I was going to say it'd be worth a try just to throw a Hail Mary or something here, but
he's got to hustle. He does look like he's going to try to get something off, but I don't think he has nearly enough time.
4
It's
seconds,
4
no.
seconds. They're just breaking the huddle. There it is. That's the horn. We'll go to halftime with the Bulldogs ahead, 21-0, as they host the Keene Blackbirds. Nice first half for the Bulldogs, and they'll look to carry that momentum into the second.
And scoring went as follows. Brody Helton with a 30-yard touchdown run in the first. Extra point no good. Bedford led 6-0. And Jack Rizzo later in the first, not to be outdone, did a 32-yard touchdown run. This time extra point good by Soden, Dylan Soden. 13-0 was your score. And then Bennett Matthews, a 23-yard inside run.
Seeing that right on the replay here.
2-point conversion, 21-0 is your score, and that's where we stand right now.
So the teams will talk it over. We'll take a break. There are 15 minutes on the board for halftime. We'll see a performance here by the Bedford High School Marching Band and Color Guard. So enjoy their music, and we will rejoin you for second half action here from Bedford High School Stadium.
And welcome back to Bedford High Stadium, where your score is 21-0. The Bulldogs lead the Keene Blackbirds. You're listening to WBNH-LP Bedford 105.1. Quick update of scores, courtesy of Andrew Fenn. I take it these are all been updated. Wyndham with a 35-7 lead over Alvern. Londonderry leads Central 28-0. Portsmouth holding on to just a 3-point lead, 17-14 over number 6 Dover. Portsmouth themselves ranked number 4. And Manchester Memorial coming back with a pair of field goals, or at least a touchdown, no extra points. 6-3 they lead over Winnicott. They're playing down in Hampton right now. No report as of yet from Pinkerton at Timberlane or Nashua South at Lowell. Games tomorrow night, Goffstown at Merrimack. That's a 10 a.m. start. Nashua North at Bishop Girton is a 6:30 p.m. start. That'll be played at Stello Stadium. So far you got to be pretty happy with what the Bulldogs have done. A couple of turnovers, a couple of penalties, but really they're doing everything right, especially with the backfield. They are just tearing up the Blackbirds after getting stopped early on their first drive. They've been able to make big chunk plays on the ground.
That first drive was a turnover on downs, but then they came back quickly. Brody Helton with a 30-yard touchdown run on the ensuing possession. 32-yard touchdown on the next one after a punt by the Blackbirds, as Jack Rizzo was able to power up the middle and get in. It was 13-0 at that time. And then Bennett Matthews on the end around extended it out with the 2-point conversion by Helton, put it out at 21-0, and that's where we are to start the third quarter.
A couple of turnovers on the part of the Keene Blackbirds, 2 through the air. That's why they haven't thrown very much. They've made 4 passes. 2 of them have been intercepted, and 1 was incomplete. Only 1 completion to speak of. Everything else they've done is on the ground. Their big talent, their big weapon is Wyatt Avery, number 24. We don't have the luxury of a stat sheet here, but we're guessing he probably got 55, 60 yards and probably represents about 75% or 80% of the Keene offense.
The senior captain has done a nice job out of the backfield. He's mostly that second back through, running off tackle either left or right, and they have been making some good blocks for him. And as you said, he's amassed probably 70% of the Blackbirds' positive offensive yardage.
We have an update from Lowell, Mass. It is 9-8 Lowell over Nashua South.
Are they playing lacrosse down there, or is that a football score?
Football score.
Wow. It's an unusual score. 9-8.
Andrew, what was the halftime? Okay, thank you.
So we get ready for the second half. I can imagine the Bulldogs will keep doing what they're doing. Heavy on the defensive line, 5-man front frequently to combat that wishbone offense for the Blackbirds. The Blackbirds, they've been getting some yardage. They've been able to move the sticks a little bit here and there, but that stout defense for the Bulldogs has kept them off the scoreboard. On the offensive side, again, a turnover on downs and an interception, but only one punt and 3 touchdowns. They've been doing quite well, getting the ball in the end zone and getting points on the board.
Keene will get the ball first. I'm wondering if we're going to see some of the bench players come in for the Bulldogs. Not quite yet.
Yeah, I can imagine maybe
quarter.
one more score or some more time off the clock. Fourth quarter, we might see some of their backups come in on either side of the ball. Only sprinkled in. I can't imagine it'll be wholesale substitutions.
2 more touchdowns with extra points, and that'll put this game into runtime. Been a pretty quick game so far.
I would say. You know, the run game for the Blackbirds keeps the clock moving when they do have an offensive possession. And as you said, only 4 pass attempts by Abbott, Case and Abbott. So that clock is running pretty consistently when it is in the Blackbirds' hands. Dylan Soden is ready for the second half kickoff. As you mentioned, the Blackbirds will have possession first. Standing at their 7 or 8 yard line are the Blackbirds receiving corps coming up to field it, and now dropping it. That's Leppel. Gets out to about the 30-yard line. They'll mark him at the 31, where the Blackbirds will take over.
So they're able to recover from that drop. I think that was number 34, Leppel.
It was kind of odd. He looked like he caught it, and then it kind of squirted through. He had to stop and pick it back up and then get ahead for yardage. But he squeaks it out to the 31. Blackbirds back to the line of scrimmage. 2 tights, wishbone behind Abbott.
Another motion there.
We got movement. I think it was the left tackle moving a little bit early.
Yep, it was Dylan Cushman. Wasn't much, enough to draw the flag, though.
Big fella makes the motion, and the offense will march back 5 yards.
And, of course, the Bedford defense is happy to assist the officials by pointing out the guilty party.
Of course, as they should. Again, that 5-man defensive line for the Bulldogs. 4 linebackers stacked in behind. Wishbone for Abbott. He's under center, takes the snap. Reverse pivot, second man through. That is Aiden Tarr going off the left tackle. He gets ahead for 5 or 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Keene penalty laden today. They've had a few false starts. They had a couple of delay penalties right off the bat on kickoffs, kicking the ball out of bounds twice. Bulldogs caught for holding twice. That's about all they've done tonight, draw the attention of the officials.
Soden on the tackle that last play. Abbott back under center. Wishbone behind him. Reverse pivots. It's off the right side this time. This is back to Avery. They're steady, tried and true. He gets ahead for 3 or 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and short.
Yeah, he's just shy of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 1 here. Avery following his blocker, following Tarr there.
3rd and 1. Avery had 2 backs ahead of him looking for blocks through that hole. That's why he had enough room to get ahead for those 4 yards. Wishbone behind Abbott again.
Bedford showing blitz.
They come and they get him in the backfield. Looked like Gradinskis was the first man through there making some good contact. And several Bulldog defenders were there. You can see here on the replay, Gradinskis squeaks through and disrupts that play. Well done by number 21, the senior linebacker.
He came in untouched, too. Nobody blocked him.
He sure did. He cut through. They showed blitz. They came with it strong, and it's a negative yardage play. 4th and 4, the Blackbirds decide to punt.
And that's their only punt so far. They've gone on 4th down every time.
They had 2 punts early in the first half. First quarter.
Okay.
But they'll punt here again. This is the freshman getting a leg into it, Braden French. It bounces about the 37-yard line for the Bulldogs. And it'll squeak down to about the 21.
And you are right about that, because watching Tagliaferro let that ball bounce jogged my memory. He did that twice earlier in that first half. Not really trying to field that punt.
That's tough, and I honestly have to say the home opener here against Bishop Girton, he had a couple of plays where he probably wished he had back, a couple of really long bounces for their punter, and a muffed punt, so that probably makes him hesitant back there as he's fielding these kicks. But now Black has the Bedford offense back on the field. 2 tight end set. He'll hand it off, going up the middle. I believe that's Helton. Gets ahead for 2 or 3 yards. He's tackled at the 24-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Nothing fancy there, just a run up the middle.
Right up the middle. Helton took a little pause step, a little hesitation. Took a quick handoff as he was to the right of Danny Black. Just about 9 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Bulldogs up 21-0 over the Keene Blackbirds. Black takes the snap again, fakes that same play, and now hits Tagliaferro in the right flat. He gets ahead for positive yardage, close to the 1st down. He's out at the 30-yard line. I think he'll be just shy. It'll be 3rd and short.
Tag's taking a hit right there just before he got to the marker.
Good hands, out and away from the body. Makes the catch with those hands, and yes, he gets pushed out at the 30. 3rd and 1. Nice little motion for Tagliaferro to get him out and away from the defense. We got the exterminator here in the house tonight. As,
it all falls under the executive producer's job description. Andrew Fenn.
Senior Executive Vice President, and producer, Andrew Fenn. Black takes the snap, hands it off. Up the middle, cutting back. Slipping there briefly was Helton. Now he powers ahead for another 6 yards.
I wonder if Helton might have gotten a face mask there. Let's watch this real quick.
Gets through the side there.
You're right there.
Maybe a touch on his helmet, not enough to draw the hanky, so it'll be a 1st down. No penalty, and the Bedford Bulldogs move the sticks. 1st and 10 at their own 38. Ticking down to 7.5 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 2 tight set for the Bulldogs. Flanker is out left, wing is to the right. Helton in the backfield. They're going to give it to the wing, end around Tagliaferro. Gets ahead for about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 on their own 42. Good blocking. You had 2 linemen pulling. The tight end was pulling there. Nice block by Dylan Soden there at the point of attack. Tackled by Michael Hansen for the Blackbirds.
Alvern getting on the board in their game in Hudson against number 7 Wyndham. 35-7's their score there.
Black in the pistol, takes the snap, hands it off to Helton off the right side, cuts back across the line of scrimmage. Gets ahead for 4 yards, maybe 5. It'll be 3rd and short.
Eli Kopcha saving the 1st down and maybe a lot more with that shoestring tackle.
So 3rd and short, it's 3rd and 1. With the ball on the ground a lot this possession, the clock is moving quickly here in the 3rd quarter. Black in the pistol again, 2 tight set. Rizzo's the flanker to the left side. Helton in the backfield. He'll take a pause step, run it right up the middle, but we're going to have a flag. Usually indicating a false start, and that is what we see. So that'll push the Bulldogs offense back 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 6.
It's a shame. It looked like it had a lot of potential, maybe even a scoring play there. Helton had a full head of steam.
He did. He was going to get that speed going. I didn't quite see who that was. I'm not sure if you did, but
I think it was Helton with the ball.
I'm sorry, I mean on the false start. It looked like it was just maybe a delayed snap, which was causing the issue. So possibly Jake Sheff just not getting it back quickly enough. Black back in the pistol, 3rd and 6. Fakes it to Helton. He'll get to his right-hand side. Does a nice job keeping his balance. Out to Sheridan in the right flat. Breaks the tackle. He has enough room for a first down as he battles defenders. And it takes about 4 or 5 guys to bring him to the ground. Shades of Rob Gronkowski out there as number 88 has the first down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Sheridan shaking off that tackle for that first down. Also, great job by Danny Black to stay upright after his footing gave out right there.
Yeah, tough one there. His plant foot, right foot slipped, and he was able to keep his balance, delivered it out to Sheridan. Sheridan, a couple of stiff arms, says, "Get off," and gets the first down. Black back in the pistol. He takes the snap, hands it off to Helton. He's off the right guard, has a lot of room.
Here he goes.
Sheds some tacklers. He's got even more room. One guy to beat. Does a little bit of a hurdle, but gets tripped up. I like it there. Isaac Nelson comes through with the tackle, but not before Helton is ahead for, geez, about a 40-yard gain there.
Helton tried to hurdle him. Almost did it, too. Watch this.
He sure does.
Up, whoop.
He probably wants to lead with the left leg as he's trying to hurdle a guy coming from his right. But either way, great run by Helton. Sets the Bulldogs up 1st and goal from the 10.
Helton's falling behind his touchdown per quarter pace here. Didn't get one in the second quarter.
Yeah, tough there. Yeah, he's only got seven on the year, and now he's into his 8th quarter. So yeah, I don't know. We're a little disappointed in his production so far. Totally tongue-in-cheek. That is very sarcastic if you cannot tell. Black keeps his own ball off the right-hand side, and he's in for a touchdown. 10-yard touchdown run by Danny Black. Puts the Bulldogs ahead 27-0 for now with the PAT attempt coming. He just fakes it right here off to the left-hand side, and he has some big boys out in front of him. And they paved the way for Danny Black. And the Bulldogs' 4th touchdown on the evening.
Bulldogs setting up for a single point here. Dylan Soden lining up.
Black again is the holder. Snap is back. The hold is down. It looks good.
Nice stroke.
It is good. So it is 28-0. As the Bulldogs march down the field 79 yards. They started this on their own 21. They cap it off with a 10-yard touchdown run by Danny Black. 4:27 to go in the 3rd quarter. Bulldogs ahead by 4 scores.
The Bedford Bulldog Athletic Booster Club would like to thank their platinum sponsors, Spectrum Marketing, Bedford Village Inn, BEI Network, London Orthodontics, Restore Hyper Wellness, Wicked Good Butcher, and Looney Insurance. Special thanks to our gold sponsors, Realty One, Ethan Allen, Granite State Cabinetry, and Liberty Hill Construction. On behalf of the 461 student athletes this season, we thank you for your support. And if you're interested in becoming a corporate sponsor or just an individual member, please grab a form at the concession stand or visit bbabc.net for details.
That's a little bit of a surprising score from last night's game as Salem beat up on Concord 28-14.
You know, this Keene team gave Salem all they could handle in the season opener, too.
Great kick there by Dylan Soden. Sheridan finishing off a block there as he's chasing down the field. Watch this kick by Soden. He gets it into the end zone here. Kid's got a leg as it bounces in the end zone for a touchback.
Just got to get the right hit on the ball. It's like a golf stroke. You got to work on it.
You definitely need to work on it. That was a wide receiver and a place kicker in college, and it's a closed motion, the kicking motion. Needs some practice and technique, but once you get it down, you can really get after it.
Officials swapping the ball out here. I guess that was the kicker ball. Do they have kicking balls in NHIAA?
They're allowed to swap the ball out for any play they'd like, so I would imagine, I mean, if you get a real balloon in practice, you can really boot that thing. And for those who have not played football, it sounds kind of strange, a kicking ball versus a throwing ball. As it gets worn in, sometimes the balls feel different. They balloon up a little bit, they get harder, they get softer, so the kicker, like the quarterback, will pick out a couple of balls that he likes to kick. Quarterback, of course, is not kicking them. They'll select the ones they have a nice grip on that come off of their hand well. Abbott under center, Wishbone behind him. 1st and 10 on his own 20. Two tights, takes the snap, second man through. I believe it's Avery again. They stack him up after a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6.
Bulldogs ready for that. Fodios Papanikolaou with the tackle there. At least he was one of the tacklers.
That's a phenomenal name. I love that, Fodios. I hope I could call that a couple of times more this evening. Papanikolaou. And he is one of the members of that 5-man defensive line that has been taxed all night, but doing quite well standing up to this Blackbird offense. Second man through again.
Tar's the carrier.
Tar this time. About a 3-yard gain, maybe 4.
Close
to the 3rd and short.
Going to need a yard to get that. Or they're going to call 2 yards.
They mark it just outside of the 28, so it'll be 3rd and a yard and a half. We'll call that. Unfortunately, Papanikolaou runs to the sideline. He gets substituted out. Good job by him, though, getting in on that tackle, the senior D lineman, and he's excited with his pals on the sideline. 3rd and 2 for the Blackbirds. Ticking down to 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Abbott tries to get the D-line to jump. Now he takes the snap. Little misdirection here. They get ahead to the 30 and beyond, so it will be a 1st down.
All you got to do is break the 30-yard line, which they did.
They did. Henrishon there standing tall in the hole comes up with the tackle. Pulls him backwards. They try to rip at the ball as they stand up. Avery in the hole, but again, he had enough room and power to get the 1st down. So the Blackbirds move the sticks. Abbott back under center in the wishbone. 2 tight set, tight splits, takes a snap pretty quickly. Coming up, Leppo with the carry. But that outside backer, Dylan Soden, comes up quickly, and that might be a tackle for loss there. It is a loss of 1.
Yeah, Soden was ready for him. Tracing him down that line and driving him back.
Great reaction, coming across the line of scrimmage, getting into the backfield, and getting the tackle for loss. Watch him on that right side of this replay. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see him streaking in. He's got that white armband all the way on the right side. We're in live action here. Abbott rolls out to his right, dumps it near side in the flat. Stacked up around the 35-yard line. So ahead for 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Avery with his 2nd completion.
Good.
2 for 5 on the night.
So it'll be 3rd and 6. Ball's on the Blackbird 35-yard line.
Wyndham scoring again. It's 42-7 now in the 3rd over Alvern.
Fans in the stands are staying excited. I'm told it's USA night for the Bedford High School student section. They're wearing their red, white, and blue this evening. We're under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Tar is in motion. He's out to the left side. 4 receivers to that left side. Inside, looking for Avery, and all I saw were black jerseys around that incomplete pass.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who the target was there, but there were 3 Bulldogs all close enough to the ball to catch it.
Rizzo was the closest. I believe he will get credit for a batted ball there. If he had seen that come out quickly, he might have had another interception, but he did not. It's 4th and 6, and the Blackbirds send out their punting unit. Braden French ready to kick it away. Back deep to receive. Tagliaferro for the Bulldogs. Punt gets away. Nice spiraling punt. 2 bounces. Tagliaferro fields it at his 25. Stiff arms one guy, gets out. We're going to get a penalty behind the play. Not quite sure what that was, but it was on the near side. Maybe a illegal block, but... Well, yeah, we're going to get a shark block back here. It looks like Bennett Matthews was getting a crack back, and they throw the flag. So the Bulldogs will march backwards. 37.8 seconds show on the scoreboard. 28-0 is your score, but the Bulldogs will have a long field to march. Yep, there's the signal from the referee. It's a crackback block, so I believe that will be half the distance to the goal. I think they consider that a personal foul.
Londonderry leads Central 34-0. That's in the 3rd.
You saw it there on the right side of that replay. We'll march it all the way back to the 11-yard line.
Portsmouth 17, Dover 14. That's in the 3rd. Last score we had was Memorial 6, Winnacunnet 3. That's at the half. Lowell leading Nashua South 9-8.
Slot left, tight right for Danny Black. 2 backs in the backfield as he's in the pistol. Takes the snap. Hands it off. Left side, Jack Rizzo. He's got some room. He's got more room as he gets across the 30. Down at the 34-yard line. Great run by Rizzo to get the Bulldogs out of deep in their own end of the field. Nice downfield block here by Elsmore, too.
About 25 seconds to go here. We'll see if they'll snap the ball or just let the clock run out.
Should have room for one more, and they do. It's 15 as Black looks over his left shoulder at the clock. He may just let it run out. 8 seconds. They do get it off. They give it to Helton. He cuts back off the left side. He'll get ahead for only a yard as he's down at the 35-yard line. And the 3rd quarter clock expires. We'll switch ends of the field, put 12 minutes back on the clock, and the Bulldogs will resume their drive with a 2nd and 9.
Evan Ray with the tackle there for the Blackbirds. Good shoestring tackle there, limiting Helton to just a short gain. Bedford Friends of Football is a parent-led organization that functions to support the needs of our team throughout the season. We couldn't do it without the help of our generous sponsors, and that includes 10 and 10 Attorneys at Law, Coca-Cola Northeast, Stonyfield Organic, Fine Homes Group International, Pepsi, TJ McCarthy Inc., McDonald's Brown Avenue, Realty One Group, Treescapes by Murphy, and Apex Wealth Management. Thank you to all our wonderful sponsors. Congratulations in store for our other teams, our other undefeated teams, like the volleyball team with a record of 4-0 after a win at Timberlane on Wednesday. Girls soccer, a 2-0 win over Londonderry. They now are 5-0. The golf team are 7-1, 8-1, with a sweep of Dover and Concord last week, or this last day or two ago.
As we mentioned earlier, it's youth night here at the football game. It's also New Hampshire Tackles Hunger Night, as the Bulldogs and the program are collecting cans and donations for our state's needy.
And if you're not here, you can still help out the Bedford Food Pantry with a gift, a donation. go to their website, bedfordfoodpantry.org, and learn how you can help.
Slot right, tight left. Danny Black in the backfield with two backs. Helton will take it off the left-hand side. Gets through the line of scrimmage into the second level. Now he's going down that far sideline. And he'll get pushed out of bounds. They'll mark him out inside Blackbird territory around the 25-yard line, maybe 26. Another long run for Helton, the sophomore.
And Jack Rizzo doing his impression of a snowplow.
Gets
Just
one
clearing
block
the way.
there, gets another block there. Pushing
Another one,
Nelson out of the way. Sustains that block for a while on Nelson. He gives Helton quite a bit of running room along that left sideline. And I thought he stepped out right around the 35, but they kept him in bounds all the way to the 26. Great run there for Helton. Another for the highlight reel. Slot left, tight right. Black has those same two backs in the backfield. Takes the snap. Helton will take it to the right-hand side this time. Off the right guard tackle area. And he'll get ahead for 3 yards. 2nd and 7.
Our next broadcast will be field hockey on Monday versus Merrimack at the 7:30 start here on BCTV, and then a week from tonight, 7 p.m. kickoff, 6:45 broadcast start. We take on the Grizzlies of Goffstown at their newly created turf field and new press box. We're looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, fully catered press box is what I hear. And if Goffstown doesn't do it, I'm pretty sure Bill Jennings will.
How about getting some more of those chicken tenders?
That was pretty
Those
good.
are really
tenders.
good. Those are really good.
Yeah, my daughter stopped by and gave me a little bit of dinner at halftime. That was much appreciated. Black takes the snap, gives it to, no, he pulls it back down, fakes to Helton, in the flat to Rizzo. He's ahead for a first down inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal at the 9 for the Bulldogs.
Good tackle by Sawyer Leppel, not being fooled by the move that Helton, or it was not Helton, it was
Oh, it was Rizzo. Rizzo, yeah.
tried to put on him, but took him down, saved the touchdown, but it's now 1st and goal at the 9.
Good ball security and deception by Black, too. I thought he handed it off to Helton there, but he pulled it back down and gave it to Rizzo in the flat. Slot left, two backs in the backfield. Helton will take it off the right-hand side. Nobody touches him, and he's in for a touchdown. 9-yard touchdown for Brody Helton, and he might be back on pace as he puts it out to 34-0 with the extra point to follow.
8 touchdowns in 9 quarters.
That's pretty good. I'd take that. And as you saw that replay, really nobody touched him. Great job up front by that right side of the line, opening up a hole. I'm pretty sure Harry Kozlowski could have scored that 9-yard touchdown run. Extra point is up. It looks good, and it is good.
I would have been bumbling, stumbling my way into the end zone. It would have taken a lot longer, let's put it that way.
Sure, yeah. He knifes through there. Beautiful blocking up front, all across the board. And Helton should be patting each one of those offensive linemen on the helmet and saying, "Thank you, boys." Doing his own impression of Walter Payton or Dan Marino, getting them all isotoner gloves for the upcoming winter.
And at 35-0, that puts the game into runtime with 10:29 left to play, and the clock will start running with this kickoff.
Soden tees it up at the 40-yard line. You are right. We have entered running time after this kick. Helton takes his steps back. He's ready. Looks left, looks right. Kick is away. Down to the 8-yard line where the Blackbirds will bring it forward. Trying to cut back to the outside, now cutting it up. I believe that was Sawyer Leppel again. He takes it out to the 29-yard line. Maybe just shy of the 29. That was quite an impressive drive, that last one, as the Bulldogs started on their own 11. Rizzo started them out quite well with about a 25-yard run. The Bulldogs carried that momentum into the next quarter and made this margin 35. Abbott turns, hands off. This is Avery off the right side. Forward progress is stopped around the 34-yard line.
I expect to see some bench players coming in. Noah Casamasino comes in, as does Nate Clark. So the starters are starting to take a rest, take their bow. Good job tonight. Let some of the bench players get a little playing time.
Fodios Papanikolaou is back in there too. Come on, get a tackle, kid. We're back in the wishbone. Abbott is under center.
Fumble.
Ball's on the turf.
Abbott right on it though.
Covers it up, but they do lose a yard. It'll be 3rd and 6. Under 9 minutes to go in the game. The Bulldogs lead 35-0. 2 touchdowns by Helton, 1 by Black, 1 by Rizzo, and 1 by Matthews. 3rd and 6. Abbott back under center. 2 tights, wishbone behind him, reverse pivot. Second man through is Tar. He gets ahead. I think he has first down yardage as he's out beyond the 39. They mark him at the 40 and they'll move the chains. Good blocking on the left side of the Blackbirds line here. Boy, that's a big boy. Number 76, Franklin Hardigan. Excuse me, Dylan Cushman. He is moving people out of the way. Senior offensive lineman making some room for Tar there. 1st and 10 for the Blackbirds at their own 40. 8 minutes and counting. Abbott gives it to Nelson. He gets to the right-hand side. A couple of shifty moves. Gets ahead for 1, maybe 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 call.
A lot of running for very little gain. Wyndham pouring it on Alburn, 49-7 now. Still in the 3rd, right?
Gus Forgy was there trying to make the tackle, but Nelson was able to skip around him. You're right, that was a lot of running to the far side of the field for only a 1-yard gain. Abbott back to the line of scrimmage. 2 tights, wishbone. Takes the snap, reverse pivot. And he'll give it to Aiden Ayanu. He's ahead for about 5 or 6 yards. 3rd and 3. Tick inside 7 minutes. And you're right, it's nice to see some of these second string players playing on the defense for the Bulldogs. Some fresh numbers, some clean unis, some kids that don't necessarily get a lot of run. Give it to Tar again. He's off the left-hand side. He'll get ahead for first down yardage into Bedford territory at the Bedford 48-yard line. Fodios Papanikolaou on the tackle, as well as Dean Poltrinari. I mean, with a name like Munster Tiger, you have to appreciate that I like saying Papanikolaou. It's a great name right there. Abbott, first man through off the left-hand side. They stack him up.
2 of my favorite things, cheese and felines.
Cam Westcott was in on that tackle. I believe Tamulovic was in there too. Linebacker coming up, getting in on the stop. Abbott back under center. Familiar wishbone. Reverse pivots, gives it to Avery. He gets ahead for 2, maybe 3. They'll mark him at the Bedford 44-yard line. And that'll be 3rd and 5.
As the Bedford marching band definition of fireball?
Fireball. There it is. Abbott under center, reverse pivots, second man through, Tar. Off the left-hand side, gets to about the 40. He's short of the first down. They'll have 4th and maybe 2.
Clock under 5 minutes to go in playing time. Bulldogs up 35-0. Still 17-14 in Portsmouth over Dover.
Coach Matthews giving some instruction to Cam Westcott. And now Bennett Matthews will run into the defensive secondary. Going to play one of those outside linebacker positions. They're stacking those offensive tackle holes, but they jump off sides. And the Blackbirds, I believe, are successful in drawing the Bulldog defense off. Smart play on 4th and short, and they'll get the easy first down.
Got an update, 24-14 Portsmouth over Dover. Battle of number 4 versus number 6 teams in Portsmouth. They're in the 4th quarter.
It's a good one there. The Blackbirds will have a first down. The ball is marked on, just inside the 35-yard line in Bedford territory.
Blackbirds putting together a drive here, first time tonight.
They hand it back to, is that Avery that was coming through there? No, I believe it was Ianu. No, I was way off. That was Josiah Sales, number 8, right?
You are correct.
He's marked down at the 31. It'll be 2nd and 6 after a gain of 4. We're at 3.5 remaining in the game. This drive started back at the Blackbirds' own 29-yard line. So as you mentioned, they've put together a decent drive here.
Bulldogs have a scoreless streak here, 6 quarters.
Avery rounds it out and then runs back into 3 or 4 defenders as the defensive line piles up on him. And he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe they'll give him a yard, so he's marked at the 30. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Of course, I mean a Bedford defense. Actually, it goes back further than that because BG scored in the first quarter. So that's 3 quarters, 5. They have 9 scoreless quarters.
Not a bad record here.
I'm sure that they'd like to extend that here.
Let's see if these number 2s can do it. They're going to take pride as a defensive unit. 2 tights, wishbone. Abbott under center. Reverse pivot, gives it to Avery. Good job by the linebackers stacking him up before he gets first down yardage. Gain of 3, 4th and 2 again.
And who was the first man there?
Papa Nicolau. There it is. Great job, Fodios. Making plays so I can get your name out there. Well done, sir. 4th and 2. Now the defensive line has to watch the hard count. They've tried it throughout the evening tonight. They got the D-line on the last one. Reverse pivot, they give it through.
I think they got him.
I don't know that they got first down yardage. It's close to that 25, but they wrapped him up very close to that first down yardage. That was Josiah Sales again.
Cam Westcott on the lead tackle.
And they do not have first down yardage. That's a turnover on downs. As the referee was pointing the other way, they're not even going to measure. Great job by the defense. Holding tight. Not quite in the red zone, but first time the Blackbirds had put together a drive, the Bulldogs turn them over.
Late in the 3rd, Manchester Memorial comes back 26-3 over Winnicott. Still about a quarter and a half there. Last score we have at Londonderry is 34-0. That's a halftime score. I don't know if we have anything updated. And still nothing on Timberlane Pinkerton, right?
Jack May checks in for the Bulldogs at quarterback. He's in the pistol. Takes the snap, hands it off. Left-hand side. And getting tackled for the loss is Lennox Williams.
That might be the last snap. Maybe they'll have to do one more.
I think they'll have to do at least one more.
30 seconds to go.
30 to go, and the Bulldogs safely ahead, 35-0. We are in run time, as we have been for most of the fourth quarter. The Bulldogs scoring on their first possession and only other possession here in the fourth. Coach Matthews giving May some instruction, and I think he's going to take a timeout and pull his offense over, or maybe they're not. They're just going to wrap it up as they're running out the clock. 5 seconds remain, and the Bulldogs will take home the victory. 35-0 here tonight. Touchdown runs by Brody Helton in the first, as well as Jack Rizzo. Second quarter, Bennett Matthews on an end around. Third quarter, Danny Black had a 10-yard touchdown run, and then Brody Helton capped off the scoring with a 9-yard touchdown at the start of the fourth quarter.
We do have a score from Pinkerton. They beat Timberlane 51-13.
Ouch.
So big win there. So that's going to do it for here. Thanks for tuning in. Corey Munstetiger, thanks as always for your wonderful call. Caleb Fitzgerald on the camera, Andrew Fenn producing and getting the out-of-town scores. I'm Harry Kozlowski. Next Friday night, we'll be in Goffstown for a 7 o'clock kickoff against the Grizzlies. And don't forget, too, we've got field hockey Monday night at 7:30 on BCTV. So the final score, Bedford 35, Keene nothing. You've been watching and listening to Bedford football on BCTV and Bedford 105.1.